This is Sips By, which is a tea service, if you will. It's a subscription box that I was fortunate to receive. I really enjoy tea, as many of you know. It's cute. And as you can see, it's made for me. And this is the May box. What I love is that you fill out a profile and they send you teas that you prefer, because as we know, there are many varieties out there, and this narrows it down and kind of customizes it to your liking. There are some nice little teas in here. I've already gotten into one. So I'm going to go through this with you. This is the one that I have really been sipping on all weekend. This is the Zest tea, the spicy masala chai. I love a good chai tea. And this one they have listed as coffee level caffeine. Coffee level caffeine. Sounds good, right? That suits me perfectly. I took a good look at it and I see some nice blue leaves here, amongst other cool things. It's a South Indian black tea with cardamom seeds, ginger root, cinnamon chips, and cloves, and it is quite delicious. One thing that I found interesting is that you get these muslin cloth tea bags if you don't have a little tea diffuser or some type of strainer. This will come in handy for you. Some people also simply prefer the tea bags. Made by a company called Teaware. This is organic by Mudan white tea with organic rosebuds and petals. This is a low caffeine tea, and it's a beautiful, simple blend of white tea and rose to soothe you. It's inspired by the Rosetto Botanico Gianfranco e Carla Fineschi, the world's largest private rose garden located in the Tuscan countryside. Well, they've got me convinced. Each tea comes with instructions. Not only will the packaging tend to have instructions, but the Sips By people have also printed the instruction on your card to tell you how many teaspoons you need, what temperature to brew the water, etc. Now this has $10 of tea cash. There's a code that they give you where you can go online and claim your tea cash. If that's something you're interested in, if you're an online shopper like me. And then there is a promotional card, $50 gift card for wine. I think that maybe they think that people who enjoy and appreciate tea might also appreciate the wine as well. Now there are several, 4 bags of the Early Bird Herbal Energy Blend. Once again, I really appreciate a nice caffeinated tea. Sometimes it's the perfect alternative to a really high energy coffee drink or an energy drink if you're into those. Sometimes you want something a bit more gentle but still does the job. I've also noticed that I get way less crashing feelings when I get my energy from tea caffeine versus coffee. The coffee feel just doesn't seem to last long enough. Now this tea is by the Early Bird, and it's a quick pick-me-up when your energy levels are low. It helps you power through your day and freshens your breath as well. That's a new twist. It's got ginger root, lemongrass, and natural pomegranate flavor. And last but certainly not least, we've got by Tea Kitten. This is called Tart Tea to the Party. It's got hibiscus, apple, papaya, currants, elderberries, raspberries, strawberries, sunflower, and cornflower. This is 4 servings, and it's caffeine free. I prefer to do a fruity caffeine free blend before bed, or sometimes a little lavender and chamomile. Sometimes I will mix 2 teas together, but the caffeine free definitely has a special place because you won't realize it until you try it, that drinking a nice warm cup of tea really does soothe you at bedtime. And in our community, so many of us are insomniacs and could really benefit from any relaxation tips or tricks. So this Tea Kitten sounds like it would be a perfect addition to a bedtime routine. So that is the May box, and I'm going to go ahead and heat some water, my little kettle, and try these teas. Let's get started. So I'll take a cute little cup, and it is a nice custom to go ahead and heat your cup a bit. Adding a bit of hot water or boiling water to your cup while your tea is steeping. We'll go ahead and get your cup warmed. It's a nice habit to get into. Now, I'm going to begin with the Teaware that we looked at. Now, this is one that I believe I would probably enjoy a bit of rock sugar in. Not all of them are going to require any mix-ins or add-ins. I'll just add a tiny bit of rock sugar. Okay, we've been brewing for the allotted time. It's kind of clear with just a slight tint. Of course, that sugar will melt down. Let me have just a first impression sip and see what I think of it. It's very clean tasting. I can really smell the botanical side, the roses. And again, I do really appreciate white tea. That's good. That's nice. Okay. Next, I just could not wait to get my hands on the Tea Kitten, Tardy to the Party. And I did this one in a little tea ball strainer. You can already see that it's got the deepest plum red color to it, probably due to all of the berries and different things that are inside it. If you recall, it has raspberry and, let's see, strawberry, elderberry, currants, papaya, apple. It's got hibiscus in it. And that's just a few of the ingredients. And when I opened the bag, I was blown away by the scent because it smells like opening a dessert, like apple pie with cream. No sugar or any additives needed for this one. Again, this is a nice fruity tea that is caffeine free and great for bedtime. Wow. Very rarely is there a tea that tastes so good that you don't want to add anything at all. This is delicious. I'm going to keep this to the side and sip on this one a bit. So good. So next I have this beautiful Early Bird. Again, it's by a company called Tea He. And this is a high caffeine blend. It's a really pretty color here. Let's try it. I like it. I like how It's very fragrant. You smell it before your taste buds know what hit you. Yeah. I like that it came in its own tea bag. I like loose teas, but sometimes I want the convenience of the pre-bagged teas, especially these higher caffeine teas that I'll be doing in the morning or early in the day mainly. This is also said to be good for an afternoon pick-me-up. Sometimes you start to feel a bit sluggish. It's when you would reach for sugar or something else to kind of give you a little bit of a lift, and they definitely recommend this for that time. Sometimes called the 4 o'clock slump or the 4 o'clock sugar rush, etc. If you work daytime shift, then you know exactly what I'm referring to. I like the flavor and I like the color. It's so very fragrant. It's almost like burning a candle in the room. And it's always nicer when you have a pretty little teapot or a pretty little cup to put it in. For the last tea, I bring you the spicy masala chai. This is by Zest Tea, and it's the one with the nice pretty blue leaves. The one that I had been getting into for a few days before I made the video, and it's the most predictable choice for me because I do tend to enjoy a good chai, and I buy lots of different chai blends. This one was especially good. I don't know if it was just super fresh or if it's going to end up being one of my favorite blends, but like I said, it's by Zest Tea. Now, I used one of the bags that Sips by Scent, the little cloth, very thin bag, and I measured it according to the package instructions. And this is, I think, maybe my 4th cup that I've had, and I've only just received this box, so it's pretty good. That's saying a lot. I do own and consume many different varieties of tea. So while I'm bringing this box to you all for you to experience it, I think that I may also continue to get the box on my own just to try some of these wonderful selections, because clearly whoever was responsible for curating this month's box, they really did a great job, not only with the recommendations that they made for me, but each tea was good. I haven't had one negative experience as far as flavor, and everything about it. The presentation was lovely. It arrived at the beginning of May, which that's good. You know exactly when it's coming. And I do have a code for you all if you would like to try it and get a little bit off for your first time. There's no contracts or anything. I believe that you can stop at any time. So you can just try it for 1 month if you'd like, or you can do it longer if you know you're a sure thing. But either way, I think I'm going to stay subscribed for a little bit. I was rather impressed. I like to collect pretty teaware, if you will. I'll get them from estate sales or sometimes the thrift shop. Sometimes you'll find them in sets, and that's nice, but I also like a nice individual piece that kind of stands alone and is pretty on its own, like this little gem. Here's a nice little lovely pot. Let me turn it for you so you can see it. It's very cute. I've got some little teacups that match it. And like I mentioned earlier, I do like matching sets, but I think that the more I collect, the more I appreciate the non-matching sets. I would rather have the little cups and pots that are unique and special in their own way. If they're handmade, that's even cooler. Many of you know that I'm very passionate about dachshunds. I love a dachshund figurine. And this is a nice little dachshund teapot. Now, this one's just for show. I don't use it. And it's not in the best condition. It's got a little chip, but I still really like it. I think I showed you all the one that my mother sent me that had a nice piece of quartz embedded into the pottery. This is a nice little bowl / cup for a tea ceremony. I've used it to prepare matcha green tea, but it can be used however you like. Those are my rules. I really like the detail in this one. This was a bit pricey, and when I ordered this from Amazon, I did not pay much attention to the measurements, as one normally would not pay much attention to the measuring of a teacup. However, I expected it to be about, I don't know, this wide, maybe this tall. And when I got it, this is what I got. I was a little shocked, to say the least. It came in a very nice box, and you can tell it's well made, but it's rather tiny. But I've actually grown to appreciate it a lot. And then I'll occasionally use these little espresso type cups for tea, especially for a tasting like this. I'm just sampling it. I absolutely adore the vintage, old-timey looking cups that your grandmother may have. If you were to go to her house today, would she have these in the pantry or in the cabinet? Probably, or something very similar. And I did inherit some nice pieces when my grandmother passed. Then, of course, you may use some things for utilitarian purposes, such as a nice plain Jane little kettle. Very simple. I also recommend that you have at least one tea maker like so. That's very easy. That comes with the strainer where you can place the tea inside and then you pour the hot water over and allow it to steep. Very simple, not very messy. You can pull this part out and pour the tea directly into your cup. And then it's easy cleanup. You simply remove the inner portion and throw it away. And there you have it. Very easy.